The AI gold rush is on, and for the last 2 years, one company has been the undisputed seller of picks and shovels: NVIDIA. Its graphics processors have become the beating heart of the artificial intelligence revolution, powering everything from ChatGPT to self-driving car research. If you've looked at any list of top AI stocks in the past 24 months, NVIDIA has almost certainly been sitting right at the very top, often with a giant number one next to it. But here's the critical question every investor needs to be asking right now. Is that still true? Is NVIDIA still the single best AI stock you can buy today? Or has the landscape shifted? Is its dominance so complete that it's the only game in town? Or are there other companies poised to capture massive value as this technology matures? The answer isn't as simple as a yes or no, and where you put your money depends entirely on how you view the next phase of the AI boom. Today, we're going to move beyond the headlines and do a deep, strategic analysis. We'll place NVIDIA in the context of the entire AI value chain, evaluate its competitive moat, and compare it head-to-head with other major contenders. By the end, you'll have a clear framework for evaluating the entire sector, not just one stock, so you can make informed decisions about where the smartest AI investment opportunities might be for your portfolio. To answer whether NVIDIA is the best, we first need to define what best means. Best for explosive growth, best for stability, best for long-term dominance, best as a pure-play bet versus a diversified giant. Let's start by acknowledging NVIDIA's unparalleled position. Its success isn't an accident. The company executed a brilliant strategic pivot years ahead of anyone else. While its GPUs were known for gaming, its CUDA software platform created a walled garden for developers. When the AI boom hit, researchers and companies were already trained on and locked into NVIDIA's ecosystem. This combination of dominant hardware and essential software is its moat. It's why demand for its H100 and next-generation Blackwell chips is seemingly insatiable, and why its data center revenue has skyrocketed. In the picks and shovels phase of the AI rush, no one has a better, sharper shovel. So if you believe we are still in the very early infrastructure building phase of AI where every tech giant and startup is scrambling to buy or rent as much processing power as possible, then NVIDIA remains arguably the most direct and powerful pure-play investment on that trend. Its fortunes are directly tied to the growth of AI compute demand. However, and this is a crucial however, no competitive advantage lasts forever, especially in technology. The market is a dynamic, ruthless system that constantly works to erode high-profit margins. This brings us to the first major category of competitors: direct hardware rivals. The most notable is Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD. Under CEO Lisa Su, AMD has made a formidable push into the AI accelerator space with its MI300X chip. Early reviews suggest it is competitive in performance. AMD's strategy isn't necessarily to outright beat NVIDIA on every technical metric tomorrow, but to offer a credible, high-performance alternative. For NVIDIA's customers, the massive cloud providers like Microsoft Azure, Amazon Oz, and Google Cloud, having a second viable supplier is a matter of economic necessity. It gives them bargaining power and prevents them from being beholden to a single vendor. So, while NVIDIA is the leader, AMD represents a classic number to investment thesis, a company with strong technology chasing a dominant market leader in a rapidly expanding market. Often, the number two can see faster percentage growth from a smaller base. So, for an investor asking if NVIDIA is the best, one must also ask, could AMD's stock offer a better risk-reward ratio from its current level? But the competition gets even more intriguing when we look beyond traditional chip rivals. The biggest cloud providers, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, are not just NVIDIA's biggest customers. They are also becoming its competitors. This is the paradox at the heart of NVIDIA's business model. These hyperscalers are spending billions on NVIDIA GPUs, but they are also aggressively designing their own custom AI chips, known as application-specific integrated circuits or ASICs. Google has its tensor processing units, or TPUs. Amazon has its Trainium and Inferentia chips. Microsoft, in partnership with AMD and its own in-house efforts, is working on the Maya chip. Why? Because for their specific AI workloads and massive scale, designing their own silicon can potentially be more efficient and cost-effective in the long run. They want to control their own destiny and capture more of the value chain. Investing in Microsoft or Alphabet, therefore, is a different kind of AI bet. You're not betting on a single winner in the chip race. You're betting on the entire AI platform, the cloud infrastructure, the software services like Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini, and the massive customer networks. These are diversified tech giants where AI is a massive growth driver, but not their only business. So, the best AI stock might be the one that offers you a balance of AI upside with the stability of other mature, cash-flowing businesses. Let's expand the lens further to the rest of the semiconductor ecosystem. If NVIDIA and AMD are the architects designing the brain, companies like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, are the builders who actually manufacture it. TSMC is the world's leading semiconductor foundry. It fabricates the most advanced chips for NVIDIA, AMD, Apple, and many others. Its position is arguably even more critical and potentially more durable. Why? Because it sits a step back from the direct competitive fray. Whether NVIDIA, AMD, or a hyperscaler wins the design battle, they all need to manufacture their chips, and for the most advanced nodes, TSMC is essentially the only game in town. This gives it a monopolistic position in cutting-edge manufacturing. Investing in TSMC is a bet on the overall growth of advanced semiconductor demand, with less exposure to which specific company's design wins in the AI software layer. It's a foundational, infrastructure-level play. Now, let's talk about the software and application layer, which is where many believe the real long-term value of AI will be created. Once the AI infrastructure is built, the companies that build the killer applications and integrate AI seamlessly into workflows will reap enormous rewards. This is a much broader and riskier category, including everything from enterprise software giants like Salesforce and Adobe to picks and shovel software providers like Snowflake and Databricks to pure-play AI application companies. This area is currently filled with both massive potential and extreme uncertainty. For a beginner or a conservative investor, it's much harder to pick the winners here. A safer way to get exposure might be through an exchange-traded fund, or ETF, that holds a basket of AI-related companies. This brings us to a key strategic point. You don't have to choose just one. So, is NVIDIA part of the best AI stocks to buy? Absolutely. It is a core foundational holding for any AI-focused portfolio due to its central role. But calling it the singular best is an oversimplification of a complex ecosystem. A more sophisticated approach is to think in terms of building a balanced AI portfolio across different layers of the value chain and different risk profiles. Here's a conceptual framework. For the high-conviction, high-growth portion of your portfolio, a pure-play hardware leader like NVIDIA makes sense. To hedge that bet and capture growth from a challenger, a smaller position in AMD could be considered. For stable, diversified exposure to the platforms deploying AI, a position in a cloud giant like Microsoft is prudent. And for the critical, underlying manufacturing infrastructure, TSMC represents a unique strategic asset. Finally, for broad exposure to the emerging software and application winners, a low-cost AI-themed ETF can round out the strategy without requiring you to pick individual, volatile winners in that space. The common mistake is to see the AI investment landscape as a horse race with one winner. It's not. It's the construction of a new digital economy. There will be multiple trillion-dollar winners across hardware, platforms, and software. Your job as an investor is to decide where you have the strongest conviction, what level of risk you can tolerate, and how to allocate capital across these opportunities accordingly. NVIDIA is not a must-own because it will certainly go up forever. It's a must-analyze because its performance will be a bellwether for the entire sector's health. Its earnings reports will move not just its own stock, but the stocks of its customers, competitors, and suppliers. Critical disclaimer: I am not a licensed financial advisor. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any specific securities. Investing in stocks, particularly in the volatile technology and AI sector, involves substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own thorough research, assess your personal financial situation and risk tolerance, and consider consulting with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. In conclusion, NVIDIA is unequivocally a premier AI stock and deserves a spot on any serious investor's watch list. Whether it is the best stock for you depends on your belief in the duration of the hardware build-out phase, your assessment of the competitive threats, and your overall investment strategy. The most powerful move you can make is to stop looking for a single magic bullet and start understanding the interconnected ecosystem. Now, I want to hear your strategy. Do you see NVIDIA as the clear leader for the next decade? Or are you diversifying your AI baits across the value chain? Let's have a sophisticated discussion in the comments below. If this deep dive helped you see the bigger picture, please hit the like button. It truly supports the channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because next we're analyzing the dark horse contenders in AI that nobody is talking about yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.